All right, we are back with another D&D movie time. And today, we are finishing up Fantasy February with Masters of the Universe. This was a live-action version of He-Man and the Masters of the Universe 80s cartoon that I grew up with. And I loved watching this movie. So... alright, there, that should tell you my score is already going to be pretty high. But I will be realistic and I will deduct for things I think need to be deducted for. So, I won't, just because it's one of my favorite childhood movies, doesn't mean it's naturally going to be a 10. But anyways,
And plus you might have a different mind. Were you watching it as a grown-up?
I've seen it as a grown-up.
Oh, but still, we watch it now.
But, yeah, this is, like, one of my favorite childhood movies, and I can't wait for Cora to watch this now for the first time. So, are you ready?
Ready.
Alright, we will see you after we're done watching Masters of the Universe.
Ready.
At the far end of the universe, there is a planet ruled by a being of utter evil. And there is only one man who dares challenge him. They are locked in a battle to the death. A battle that will take them across the heavens. A battle that will finally be fought across the face of Earth.
I think I'm gonna need some backup.
Can you show us the way?
No.
From a distant galaxy, they have come to Earth. Dolph Lundgren as He-Man, Frank Langella as Skeletor. Only they have the powers to be Masters of the Universe. Live the adventure.
Alright, we just finished watching Masters of the Universe. I don't know why I keep doing it like that.
Because they're insane.
It almost makes me think of the guy from Futurama.
Fly?
No, there's like this one guy that always talks about like the... I don't remember what he's announcing. But every time he says this one line, he always says it like an announcer. And I think he's in the first episode or so. Anyways,
I watched it.
Cora, Masters of the Universe. What was this movie about?
Basically...
Can you talk normal?
Say that to yourself.
I am talking normal. I'm not talking like a 3-year-old.
No. Anytime you say Masters of the Universe, you should say that to yourself.
Come on, what was it about?
Okay. Basically, Skeletor is hunting this scientist, which basically made a machine that can...
Key?
key machine, same thing.
What does this thing do?
It goes from one dimension to another dimension. It goes from one world to a world. It goes from one place.
It opens a portal to anywhere.
Anywhere, anytime.
Like an ender portal.
No. And the portals only take you to one place. Never.
Anyways, come on. So he look for this guy who made a portal machine.
Then basically, He-Man. Who names Kyoto He-Man?
Well, and
Who names their child He-Man?
that was his persona, like Superman or Batman.
Why
They really got to throw in the mans there. Like, we don't already know it's a guy, so you gotta make sure you say it's a man. Although He-Man is a little redundant, but actually it was Prince Adam in the cartoon when he wasn't He-Man. He was only He-Man when he would raise his sword and gain his powers. That's the only time he was He-Man. At least his cousin got a better name, She-Ra. It wasn't like She-Girl or something like that.
Yeah, but like He-Man is just weird. Like, if some crazy person wants to name their child that, I'd be like,
Yeah, you know you're gonna name your child that.
nah, I.
Anyways, come on. So He-Man saves the inventor, and what do?
Basically, they
Quit saying that. Come on.
basically they go to Skeletor's.
You mean Grey Skull, the castle?
Skeletor's throne room.
Well, technically that was Adam's throne room. That was He-Man's throne room. Skeletor had taken over He-Man's castle, and they were breaking in to try to take it back. Did they succeed?
No.
Okay. What happened?
Basically, they have to list a cinema bulb
The key,
To
cosmic
go-
key.
to one somewhere because they're outnumbered, and they go to what's this planet?
You don't know the planet you live
I
on?
know the planet I live in. Do you know the planet you live in?
Yes, of course I know
Then
where
say
Earth is. Of course I know where
Then
Earth is.
say it.
I just said Earth 3 times! I don't think you knew what it was called.
No, you said Earth four times.
Okay, let's go. So they get on Earth,
Now 5 times.
and what's the first life form they meet?
A cow. Moo.
Anyways, do they find the key? Or do they have the key?
No.
What happened to the key?
It got. I don't get it. How? Oh, day over here. And the key. I mean, is the key wobble? Can it bounce off? Because if the key was here, and if it was wobbly, if it could bounce off stuff, it would go on here, probably hit something, and then go down somewhere else.
No, it slipped out of the gripper, and it went flying into the air, and it came crashing down in the cemetery.
Yeah, basically these 2 characters, what are their names?
Kevin and oh man, what was her name? I didn't really pay much attention to her.
She's one of the main characters!
I was too busy paying attention to all the other ones, especially like Bill Bartley's character. He's so funny. Julie. Kevin and Julie.
Find the thingamabob.
Played by Courteney Cox, and I believe his name is Thomas McNeill. Played Mr. Paris on Star Trek Voyager. Yeah, he was a pilot for the Starship Voyager. And Courteney Cox, of course, you know where you know her from, right?
No. Home Alone?
No.
Come on.
What's your favorite scary movie?
Scream.
Now you finally get it?
Yes.
A reporter in California who marries a deputy that becomes a sheriff. All the clues I gave you during the movie.
I wasn't paying attention. I was paying attention to the movie.
Anyways, come on. So they find the key and what happens?
Then basically, Skeletor sends some of his minions, 4 exactly, to go get the key.
And?
And basically...
What is it you and the word basically lately? Seriously.
We need a basically counter every time I say basically.
You don't need to say basically all the time.
I don't know why!
Alright, I'm going to finish this because you're taking forever.
Okay, fine.
So, the 4 come and they track down where the key was. They find Julie. He-Man saves her. Then they return and Skeletor gets mad, kills one of them, sends Evil in his right hand. Don't uncap that. Then they come to get the key. They track it down. There's a huge battle at the music store. Evelyn uses her magic to disguise herself as the mother of Julie, who recently died, which is why they were in the cemetery to begin with. Then they get the key, they get He-Man, and they return to Eternia. Gwildor and the others, they find a way to repair the key they had, because Skeletor had it, but then kind of ruined it. And so they all go back to Eternia. There's a huge final battle between He-Man and Skeletor, while the others are taking out the guards. And how does that end up, Cora?
Star Wars reference.
How do you know? You haven't watched Star Wars yet.
It's a meme.
How could a whole battle be a meme? A meme is like 5 seconds or less. The whole battle of any Star Wars is a lot longer than 5 seconds.
It doesn't have to be 5 seconds or short time.
But anyways, who wins?
He-Man?
Okay. Well, you never know. They could have thrown a wrench in it and said, Skeletor wins.
I know, but again...
Tell you what, though, the Emperor and Vader didn't give as good of a monologue. It was before the big fight as Skeletor did.
I mean, here's something I don't get about movies with superheroes and stuff. Why must their nickname always have their gender? For example, Wonder Woman or Superman.
We just went over this earlier. Who knows? They just got to make sure you know that they are a man or a woman. Okay, let's move
They can clearly tell by the way they look and sound.
Okay. Well, we're moving on from that. Anyways, so He-Man wins. Everybody's safe, and
Find out the face reference at the end.
what happens to the 2 kids?
They get sent back home. Into the past.
Why?
I don't know.
So Julie can change her parents' death, so they don't die. So she can save her mom and dad.
I did say, but
And is Skeletor dead?
no.
How do you know?
FNAF reference.
What?
FNAF reference.
How is that? This came out way before Five Nights at Freddy's. And I don't recall a single character in Five Nights at Freddy's popping up from the water saying, I'll be back.
Speech up says I'd be back all the time.
Okay, whatever. Anyways, I'll be back with Cora right after this quick break.
For thousands of years, the world has been protected by the Guardian of Light, or as he is more commonly known, Santa Claus. Over the centuries, factors such as fear and prejudice, greed and jealousy, misunderstandings, betrayal and war have segregated most humans from the magical world of elves, fairies, wizards, and the like. This has resulted in many misconceptions and generalizations of the true nature of Santa and his world.
This 6-book series by Sean Connaughton begins as the current of a long series of guardians is murdered by a group of monstrous enemies recently escaped from an enchanted South Pole prison. These creatures are loyal to the darkness, an evil force determined to exterminate the light in order to enslave all creatures of the world.
Shane Connor, an average young man, suddenly finds himself being trained as the new guardian. As he adapts to his new life among fantastic creatures, he goes on an adventurous quest with a legendary wizard for the ultimate weapon to use against the darkness, and faces murderous enemies like Rasputin, Morgana Le Fay, Krampus, and many more.
Along with his best friend Joe Gomez, Shane encounters politics, history, mysterious murders, new loves, his own hidden past, and racial dynamics among the fantasy races that turn out to be all too real. Their adventures reveal the true nature of the world and challenge the current state of how all races interact.
This series expertly melds myths, legends, history, faiths, folklore, and secret societies into a fascinating, cohesive, comprehensive world of wonder and magic.
From Atlantis to Olympus, from Hades to the moon, and from broomstick races to Christmas deadlines, join the new Santa Claus on his amazing journey. But beware, will Shane's quest achieve his ultimate goal of destroying the darkness and preserving the light of the world? Or is he actually playing right into a plot by dark forces that will result in his, and our, ultimate doom?
So make your list and check it twice for the Guardian of Light book series. Download your audiobook or ebook today from Audible, Amazon, or iTunes.
All right, Cora, starting with you. On a scale of 1 to 10, what would you give Masters of the Universe?
5 out of 10. I didn't really get it.
Didn't get it?
I got it, but I didn't get it. And I also kind of hate Skeletor, besides the fact that he's a villain, but of the fact that his makeup is really bad. Like, the only thing that possibly made him look like a skeleton was literally the nose.
Well, I don't know what a skeleton is, but...
Legend...
Was his head supposed to be square and white?
Very funny, I shush. But in Legend, the main bad guy in that one literally looked like the devil, as his character was supposed to look like. You could not tell that that is someone with bad makeup on, because that was really good makeup, and probably took lots of time. But in this one, it was a rush, okay? Yes, I get it. It's done in the 80s or 90s or somewhere
80s.
around that time.
And there wasn't a lot of money funneled into this picture as there was probably Legend.
Yeah, but
Or even if I'll tell you this, even if they had the same amount of budget, Legend focused more on the visual aspects and less on the story, whereas this focused more on the story and cut a little from the visual aspects to make that story.
Yeah, but
what?
I'm the type of person who cares about story and visual aspects.
Well, that's what they did. They tried to balance it with both. Whereas, like I said, with Legend, they focused more on... Of course, it's going to look better, because that's what they were mainly focused on with Legend, was it looking better than that way people wouldn't care about the story. Here, they focus more on balancing it out. But anyways, moving on to my score on a scale of 1 to 10. If I'm being completely honest, then I'd have to give this an 8 out of 10. I still like this movie a lot. It hasn't, I mean, I've seen it at least 20 times or more in my life. I probably watch this, I'd say, at least once every 5 years, maybe twice every 5 years, who knows. I think the freaking makeup for the mid-80s, or whenever this came out, was freaking phenomenal. Way better than the makeup they did in Harry Potter for Voldemort. Because he looked a lot more skeletal than... I mean, I'd honestly say I even think his makeup was better than the makeup they did for Red Skull. Although with his makeup, the way they did Skeletor's makeup in this, you couldn't say he was hiding another face underneath. Whereas Red Skull was just like, the dude was bald and his face was painted red. They made it look like he was missing his nose. So they could have him wearing like a fake normal face half through the movie. So it was a big reveal when Captain America or whoever pulls off the face. But yeah, I mean, I still think as far as skeletons go, it was pretty damn good. And I was a big, like, I used to watch the cartoon as a little kid. And I used to have several of the action figures. So this was a pretty epic movie. And this was one of the first times I had ever seen something I liked that was a cartoon turned into a live action movie. I was only ever disappointed that we never got a sequel that focused more on Eternia. And I was okay with this plot line about coming to our world for this. But ever since then, I've been bored with the idea. And it's made me really resent that kind of story where, like, oh, we have this big fantasy magical kingdom, but we're going to take it to our world. The world we live in. It's like, nobody wants to see that. We want the Harry Potter experience. We want to go from our world to this big fictional world. Or just, they could have just made it all in Eternia, but I feel like they didn't have the budget to do that. To make it live up to the show. That's why whenever we're in Eternia, you hardly see much of the surroundings. We saw maybe a cliff face, we saw Gwildor's home, and then we saw the inside of the castle. They didn't really show much of Eternia outside of that didn't look like just desert. So, but that is our review for Masters of the Universe. Like I said, this is something that I'm really going to enjoy till the day I die. I guess it's not going to be Cora's new favorite movie, but I'm sure she'll at least rewatch it if she's got nothing better to do. And I'm watching it, right? Oh, it wasn't horrible. It has Gale Weathers. And it has the principal from Back to the Future. Which, oh, he was also, and I told you while we were watching it, he was also the teacher in Problem Child 2. But I don't think that actor ever had hair. So, but alright, that is going to wrap this up. Anything you want to say before we're done? No? Are just going to say goodbye?
Like, comment, subscribe. Good journey.
You're so weird. Alright, we will see you guys next time. Have a great day. Bye.
Like, comment, subscribe.